baby. It's Shaka being that mafioso, the done-dotted coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, a.k.a. Shaka Fuego, a.k.a. Shaka Flame, a.k.a. Steve Panther, a.k.a. Shaka Black, a.k.a. Shaka Baby. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man. I do that all off the dome, by the way, man. We got Helldivers 2. Warbond. I think I seen RCD playing this. RCDC, I can't think of the letters right now. Playing this. I haven't heard of it. It's on PC, but you know, I got an Xbox too, so let's see what it's talking about. It looked decent when I seen them playing it, but let's see what it's about. Oops, accidente. Yeah, this is definitely the game they was playing. Kind of gives me a Star Wars Battlefront vibe. Gives me a Destiny vibe. The battle helmets or whatnot, they definitely give me a Halo Reach vibe. You know, it's kind of like a third-person Halo Reach. We gotta see more of this, man, cause I just don't get it. Let's see. I don't see it. It must be better to play than to watch. That's definitely a thing. Because when it came to Star Citizen,
recent balancing updates to help.
When it came to Star Citizen, I definitely liked playing it better than I liked watching it. Even though I love Star Citizen.
Helldivers 2 changes almost everything about what used to be the meta endgame. So today, we're diving in and testing all the major changes to guns, stratagems, and deployments to see just how screwed we actually are. If you're not aware of what the patch changed, we categorically went over everything in this video. I was a railgun and personal shield main, so the new changes hit hard. But just
how
hard?
Classes.
Let's find out. As a quick bonus before we start,
let's change that quality because that's horrible.
Before we start, here's what a meteor shower looks like.
Oh, the run mechanics are real fluid.
Nice.
I mean, they would have to be.
For the initial jump, I wanted to stress test the buffs to the Breaker Spray and Pray shotgun, the Flemmenwerfer, and the 380mm HE barrage. I'd heard that the barrage was apparently the new meta for shutting down outposts, so I absolutely had to try it. This also gives us a great chance to do a 4-in-1 and test out the new eradication mission changes to boot. Planet side, it felt surreal to load out with a flamethrower for the first time since being a cadet, but here we are.
I'm noticing that
for the first time in weeks, and I'm surprised by how quickly it melts around.
Like space games, deep space, that's just what it is. I guess it's to complement Elon Musk's mission to Mars.
And can file warrior. We don't have to wait long for a nursing spewer to make its way to us, which also goes down in short order. So far, I'm reasonably impressed. Because it's difficulty 7, of course this triggers an immediate bug breach, so we get a chance to put the flamethrower up against the Horde. It's, of course, not long before a charger emerges, whom we manage to melt down with around 2/3 of our mag.
I like the creature design. I mean, I had to see big bosses and stuff like that, but insectoid creatures, you know, the classic. Oh, there we go.
Okay, it's not as elegant or skillful as deplating the leg than melting it with the primary, but it'll do for now. The game, of course, immediately sends a Bile Titan after me, so I have to blow my orbital barrage load a little earlier than expected. Allegedly, the groupings are tighter and last longer, so let's see how well Orbital Viagra really works.
Orbital Viagra?
As my Gatling Sentry impotently fires at the Titan, I try to find a good vantage point to watch from.
It doesn't look bad.
In the end, as the barrage barely does anything to the Titan, I'm forced...
It doesn't look bad, but I'm not as impressed with the graphics. Star Citizen definitely probably the best looking game I've played to this date still.
...to detonate
and
a
then it's
hell
Cyberpunk
bomb to finish the job. Not the experience I wanted, but then I remembered that we brought the HE barrage to close bug holes, not to take on moving targets, even if they are the size of a building. So we move on. We take a quick reprieve to find out that the upgraded Breaker Spray and Pray can take out a Spore Spewer at 100 meters using a full mag. Awesome! This thing literally couldn't kill a single egg before its buff. No f***ing way, you can't penetrate the egg! We get swarmed only to find out that the Breaker Spray and Pray actually does stuff now. It's able to take down Hive Guards and Brood Commanders. Perhaps not particularly well, but at least...
Hey, somebody in the comments tell me, like, what's the storyline or the point of this game? Are they just, like, space recon agents or whatnot that just goes and kills bugs on different planets?
Can do it whatsoever. I then have a misadventure using my own HE barrage against the Charger.
What is the motivation to kill these insectoid creatures who are minding their business? Oh. Dang.
For our second deployment, I bring the upgraded laser cannon and desperately want to find out whether the Punisher buff also affects my beloved Slugger shotgun. We give the HE barrage an easy target, a single bug hole on a hill surrounded by a group of Terminids. We try the laser cannon on a Charger only to find out that it does nothing to the frontal armor. I recall hearing someone say, "Shoot the back of the leg," so I adjust. Most of the Charger surfaces still just reflect the beam.
You gotta get the soft side, of
course. As I fumble my way around with this Charger, the game of course spawns another one alongside a horde and I start getting pinballed around.
Looks exciting. Oh no, I couldn't let nothing like that. Oh no. Hell no.
The upside is that I find out my beloved Slugger now has a reserve ammo cap of 60, and the entire thing is replenished with just a single resupply pack.
These guns suck. Where the rifles at?
Viable. I encounter another Charger and desperately try to find a weak spot in its leg joints from behind, but no dice.
That's
finally
like a
work it
roach
out.
rhino?
It's literally the back of the leg. Not the joint or anything that looks fleshy, but the actual armored back of the leg. That's how the laser cannon can take down Chargers. Turns out the cannon is also pretty great at melting bile spewers.
Bile spewers?
Because it's Helldivers 2, the game of course spawns another horde on me and then melts me with my own drone, so at least we know the spirit of Helldivers is still intact. By this point, I'm dropping into endless reinforcement loops and the game is lost. Once upon a time, I was able to solo difficulty 7, but it appears with the new meta, those days are now behind us. To add the final cherry on top, we finish with a meteor shower, which begins detonating latent nukes around the battlefield.
Dang, he's getting
so
tossed.
Not only are you running around from endlessly reinforcing hordes, you now have environmental effects which can one-shot you on top. Nice. Jumping across to the bots with a suit of heavy armor to test the new armor rating changes. I would say the difference between light and heavy armor is that light armor makes you feel pathetically weak and feeble, while heavy armor makes you feel pathetically weak, feeble, and slow. All in all, a quality upgrade. I quickly find that the railgun, when partially charged, does almost nothing to Striders. The game seems to delight in this, as each drop sends more Striders at me than I've seen in the rest of my time playing combined. Running the railgun on unsafe mode is now mandatory.
See, I knew I wasn't crazy. When I said Star Wars Battlefront, that's exactly what this looks like. Just like an enhanced version of Star Wars Battlefront.
Use the railgun on a heavy Devastator, only to find out that the shield now blocks the round. I then get promptly one-shotted by an Annihilator tank. I try the railgun on a turret. The round bounces off. I try the railgun on the vent at the back of the turret and it does virtually nothing. I eventually finish it off with my Slugger. Between the Slugger and Scorcher as primaries, the railgun is now effectively redundant for fighting bots. The Slugger can one-shot and stagger Devastators and doesn't need to waste time charging up. The Scorcher can kill Strider pilots in 2 shots to the frontal armor. The railgun, meanwhile, can best be used to pleasure oneself with. But we're not done yet. I'm going to show you in detail what the new nerfed railgun is like against Hulks and Chargers. You're gonna absolutely love it. If I were to describe what the new meta feels like on first impression, and I want to be careful with my words here so you get my exact meaning. It's like asking your wife's boyfriend for his permission to take her out. It's like wiring 10 grand to your favorite OF model so she can treat her boyfriend to a nice vacation.
Wait,
it's a beacon for the cuckoldry of the world to
Bro got some personal problems he projecting on this video game right now.
Unite around. The game appears to delight in overwhelming players and not giving them the tools to fight back. For this kind of experience, you can simply look up a dominatrix in your local classifieds and go to town.
What?
I presume the feeling of powerlessness is quite the same. I ran several missions to make sure this wasn't just an aberration. Solo and team. bugs and bots. Overall, I found the newly buffed laser cannon was a shoo-in replacement for the railgun against bots. The laser cannon can take out striders and even melt hulks through the eye hole. Want to see what the railgun does to hulks now? Here you go.
Nothing.
Fun, right? Unless you charge up and nail the motions of the Hulk to perfectly one-shot its tiny eye hole, your round simply bounces off. This, combined with infinitely replenishing ammo, makes the laser cannon a straight-up replacement for the railgun. They didn't put the railgun's performance back on par with the other supports, they literally just made it redundant.
I like the movement in the game.
How is it against charges? Well, now its rounds bounce off charger frontal armor. This even happened when I ran it unsafe. If you can strip charger armor with it, it requires such a high charge that it's essentially useless in higher difficulties because you're always being accosted by 3 or more charges at a time.
The game looks good if you can do other things besides just fight creatures, like craft and a lot of lore-based stuff.
Meanwhile, the HE barrage eventually managed to close a few bug holes. Nowhere near enough to be worth the colossal cooldown time, however. Even against the bots, dropping it directly on a dropship airfield with literally the largest objective targets in the game, an entire barrage somehow managed to miss the literal dropship I put the beacon on.
Requesting orbital.
My advice, give the HE barrages a miss. It seems like no amount of buffing will make these more useful than the orbital laser or even walking barrage, not to mention regular Eagle airstrikes. While the laser cannon was nice against bots, I found it to be a disappointment against the bugs, so I tried the flamethrower again, since there appeared to be no direct replacement for the railgun for taking down charges. Here's how it went.
Those things are beasts. He dies. Man, he's getting screwed.
I hope you have a lot of time on your hands and ammo. I have no idea how teams will go about dealing with the 5+ charger onslaughts and higher difficulties with this new meta. I expect a lot of TK as shafts of flames set alight the battlefield and do more damage to the squad than they do to the chargers. On the bright side, the flamethrowers are amazing at clearing out egg clusters, so that's something.
I do not like playing with flamethrowers.
In the end, what this update served to do was make the game broadly more annoying to play. The enemy reinforcement loops are still overwhelming, it's just that now you have worse tools to fight back against them. I was trying to think of a single positive thing which came of this update and settled on the fact that my precious slugger is now even more awesome. Though I'm not sure how to feel about the fact that it literally makes the railgun redundant. The Breaker Spray and Pray update is nice, but all it does is give you a worse shotgun than what the vanilla
do they have rifles or is he just not playing with them? I don't get it.
vanilla Breaker was before its nerf, so a bit of a net loss really. The laser cannon buff is nice, but I'd take the old railgun over it any day of the week. It's slow, it's lumbering, and it's a death sentence when you're being mobbed by more than a handful of enemies, which is only, all the time. I understand that Arrowhead are trying to really lean into the co-op aspect of the game so that you have to run 4-player squads for higher difficulties, but I'm not sure if the best way to go about it is to make the game literal pain to play. The game seems confused about what it's trying to be. It's a combat horde rush simulator with tank units that use quasi-puzzle mechanics to take down, a la Souls-like games, yet they throw them at you at such quantity with so little weaponry that all you can do is run around kiting and avoiding combat. Bear in mind, I'm referring specifically to difficulties 7 to 9 there. In between its residual jank mechanics and now nearly ineffectual guns, combined with endless reinforcement loops, I really start to wonder whether to boot up Helldivers 2 or just pay someone to spank my ass for a few hours. As always, dive with liberty, and I'll see you on the ground with my pea shooter.
I'm not gonna lie, his jokes are crazy. But hey, man, y'all let me know, man. I don't know about Helldivers much, you know what I mean? But I like looking at new games and getting into them. You know, that's how I got into Star Citizen, and I got so many hours on that. It was ruining my relationship, you know what I'm saying? But it's Shaka being there, mafioso, the done Dakota's ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, a.k.a. Shaka Black, a.k.a. Shaka Fuego, a.k.a. SB Panther, a.k.a. Shaka being there, a.k.a. Shaka Flame, man. Hey, I'm gonna put some dope links in the description box where you can see cool stuff you might want to get and stuff like that. it's pretty cool. I look through a lot of things to see what you guys might like. So y'all let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about Helldivers 2 in the description down below. Peace! My money.